Good evening, everybody. We are live on Facebook for our Healthy Living Through the Holidays. Welcome. We want to welcome all of you here. We are super excited that you are on and watching tonight. We have been planning this webinar for a few weeks now, and we hope you're as excited as we are. We've got a lot of great tips for you, a lot of great inspiration for you this evening. And I want to tell you really quickly how we came about being here tonight, how we came about doing this exciting webinar. We have a team of about 65 coaches who came together, and we were all looking for a way to really get the word out, to share with our clients, share with our friends, share with our family members, share with our loved ones, how to stay healthy throughout the holidays, because that can be really difficult sometimes. This holiday season, we know that the average American gains 7 to 10 pounds throughout the holidays, and that's like between Thanksgiving and New Year's, and that cycle really begins with Halloween last week. All the candy that came into our homes, or many of our homes, and it starts this crazy sugar rush, and we just spin out of control, and then parties after parties after parties, and next thing we know, we're at January 1 and we are not where we want to be. Our weight has gone up. And so this year, our goal as coaches is to help people not be part of that average. Our goal is to help you combat that and hopefully even lose weight. But if best case, that's best case scenario. But even so, even if your goal is just to maintain where you are and not go up, that is our goal. So we came together, we decided to put together this webinar. And unfortunately, because we don't have time for 60 some odd people to come and talk with you, we have selected a handful of coaches that we're going to come on here tonight to share some of our top tips and give you some hopefully some inspiration and empower you to not be part of that average. But whoever, we're all sharing this, all of our coaches are sharing this on their timeline. So please feel free to interact, ask questions, reach out to the coach that is sharing this with you, because we were all part of this planning and we're super excited about it. But how are we going to teach you to do this, to change your life, to create new healthy habits? We focus on 6 macro habits all the time, not just through the holiday season, but these 6 macro habits are what take us through all through the year. These 6 macro habits are healthy nutrition and hydration, mindset, and mindset is going to be a lot of what we're focusing on tonight, healthy sleep, healthy stress reduction, healthy surroundings, and healthy weight management. So you're going to be hearing a little bit about each of those things, but mindset is going to be a big piece of it tonight. But to expand on all 6 of those, you definitely want to reach out to the coach that is sharing this with you, where you're seeing this, and touch base with them, because we would love to help you incorporate all of these into your life. Tonight, I want to welcome and introduce our presenters, and in no particular order: Karen Goldfarb, Elizabeth Kahn, Francie Feld, Marsha Liebson, and then our 2 amazing inspirational shares are Rosanna James and Kim Stevens. So first up, I'd like to introduce to you my friend, Rosanna James, who has lost 112 pounds, been keeping it off, rocking her whole healthy new lifestyle, and has a story that is beyond inspirational. Rosanna, you want to unmute yourself and share with us some words of wisdom, brief your story and some words of wisdom to get through the holiday season.
Hi, everybody. It's difficult to take a couple of years where so much has happened and condense it into 2 to 3 minutes. So I'm really going to do my best here. I did lose 112 pounds 2.5 years ago, and then I became a health coach, and I've been coaching for 1.5 years. At 112 pounds overweight, I was pretty miserable. As you can imagine, I'm 5'1", so add 112 pounds onto my frame is difficult to live with. I was pre-diabetic. I had migraines. I was dealing with a lot of things with kidney stones, diverticulitis, a lot of pain in my hip, and it was getting worse and worse. And then I started getting these uncontrolled seizures, and they couldn't figure out where they were coming from, other than the inflammation that was pressing down on the nerves in the brain. And I was very frustrated. I reached out to a health coach as a result of a trip to Hershey Park with my kids. It was a school trip. I went on the trip, and I started getting this weird aura feeling, which is what I would get before the seizures. And then my feet started swelling because we were walking. And I was 244 pounds on a 5'1" frame walking around Hershey Park in the sun with this migraine and swelling feet. So they had to go get me a wheelchair. And my kids pushed me out of Hershey Park in a wheelchair, and I had a seizure in the parking lot. And that was kind of the end for me. I said, okay, something's got to give. I reached out to a lady that I saw online, sort of like the way you're seeing us today. And I said, look, I need some help. I've tried to do this on my own. I started eating healthier. I tried different weight loss things that were out there, and it wasn't working. I'd gain and lose and gain and lose the same 20, 30 pounds over and over again, but I wasn't really getting healthy, and I wasn't really making any big changes. So I told her, I'm going to do my best. I'm going to try this for a month. We're going to see what happens. My first month, I lost 23 pounds. And for me, that was huge. My headaches were gone, and I was sleeping at night. For the migraines to be gone and that inflammation to go away and to be able to think clear, that meant more to me than the weight loss did. I mean, the weight loss was great. I felt better, but that was amazing to not have these pounding migraines all the time. The great part is that the seizures were slowing down, and the seizures eventually stopped for me. And for me, that was fantastic. I went on to lose the 112 pounds in about 10 months. And then I started getting sick again. And I was like, what's going on? You know, when you lose 112 pounds, you feel fantastic. And then you get sick and you're really questioning things. And they had found a tumor that was hiding between two fibroids. And guess what? If they hadn't found it, if I hadn't have lost the weight, they wouldn't have found it, because all the weight that I carried through my middle was cutting off the blood supply. And this was a very slow growing tumor that had cancer in it. So I probably wouldn't be here if I hadn't lost my weight. It means I have 3 kids that wouldn't have a mom, and a husband who wouldn't have a wife right now. And, you know, so me going through the process of the weight loss essentially saved my life. You know, it's really about more than just size, because I went in for that hysterectomy, and it was an emergency situation. That tumor grew to 3 pounds in a month, and it was crazy. But I came out of that surgery with them telling me that I was going to gain all this weight and that my stomach would swell out really big. But I had really good healthy habits that I had been relying on and that I had learned. And I kept going through that. That hysterectomy was in November. I had to have it on Thanksgiving Day. I was in the hospital, and I came home to friends and neighbors bringing food, you know, because when you're recovering from something, they bring you food. And I had 2 choices. I could either continue on a really good healthy plan that got me where I was recovering well, or I could just eat whatever. And I chose to stay on my plan and to stay with my habits. And the doctor said that was the best choice I could have ever made, because it kept my inflammation down. I healed faster. I was doing better because of the habits that I had instilled over the previous year throughout all of my weight loss. So, you know, if I can give one really good tip of advice, is really understand why you want to be healthy, and get that really, really stuck into your head. And as you're going through the holiday season and you understand that, that's what's going to be the most important thing to you. You know, who's whatever chocolate pie, you know, is still going to be there the next year, but your goals are really what should be forefront.
Thank you, Rosanna. That was amazing. And for those of you who want to hear more of Rosanna's story, feel free to check her out, because, you know, listen to her, because her story is so inspiring every single day. Just, you know, she continues to inspire us. We're going to go on with some of our top mindset tips for the holiday season.
Hi, everyone. My name's Elizabeth Kahn, and I lost 60 pounds on this program, and I started on January 9th, 2017. And now I am a certified health coach for the past 2 years.
Hello, everyone. My name is Karen Goldfarb. I lost 115 pounds. I've kept it off for over 2 years, and I have been a certified coach for about 2.5 years.
So yes, we're talking today about top mindset tips for the holiday season. And the first one I want to talk about is knowing why you want to stay healthy this holiday season. So I always think about what motivates you to set your alarm clock and get out of bed each morning. And for me, after discovering what my why was, I wrote it down and I shared it with someone. And that was really important to me because putting it in writing is very important, but sharing it with someone, that way I'm never going back on what I'm writing down. It's a great way to stay motivated and keep me on track. And I put them a place where I see them every day. They're in my bathroom, right next to my mirror. Another suggestion is putting it on your refrigerator. And then number 2 is setting a goal and then creating a plan to meet your goal. So with the holidays quickly approaching, this is the perfect time to set SMART goals. SMART goals are specific, measurable, attainable, realistic, and timely. Setting SMART goals help you reach your objective, because if a goal is too general and not attainable, the goal is going to be harder to accomplish. But in having unrealistic goals, it can lead to guilt and additional stress. So making sure that the goal you set out is adjustable to your lifestyle and not overwhelming you. For me, setting a SMART goal is going for a walk for 15 minutes on my lunch hour, 5 days a week. It's got all of those aspects. And then in the third one is allowing yourself time for self-care and stress relief. So put yourself first. This is really important. So many times we're there for others. We make time for our kids and our parents and our friends, but we don't make time for ourselves. So by doing this, you will be able to become more productive, cope with problems better, and have less stress. Some things you can do is be mindful of what you're eating and drinking, create a morning routine and an evening routine, be grateful for what you have, and learn to say no. Fun ones to do is getting a massage or manicure, pedicure, or taking an exercise class to de-stress or even practice better sleep habits.
The next tip that we have is to practice stop, challenge, and choose. And this is a concept that we teach our clients and help them utilize to help them have their greatest success. So there's always lots of temptations that we are faced with all throughout the year. It can be food and other things that we encounter. And those get heightened, or there's many more of them through the holiday season. So when we are faced with those temptations, how we handle those temptations can keep us from reaching the goals that we've set. And so really what the idea is to be mindful of what you're doing and how you are reacting to those temptations, so that you're not mindlessly practicing unhealthy habits. So the first part of that is stop. And that's simply being aware, recognizing that you're being faced with a challenge or a temptation. So that might be a plate of cookies sitting there calling your name, or it might be you had thought about going for a walk, but you're thinking about, maybe I'll just stay on the couch and watch Netflix for a little bit. So once you've recognized that there is this temptation in front of you, you need to challenge yourself. This is the second part. Think about the goals that you're trying to achieve and challenge yourself by asking, will eating that cookie or will not taking that walk and sitting on the couch for the afternoon help me to reach those goals, or are they going to delay me reaching those goals or delay my achieving those goals? And then you get to the third part of this, and that's making a choice. So in this scenario, you have two choices. You can either eat the cookie or not, or you can stay on the couch, or you can take a walk. Whatever choice you make, if you've gone through this process, is okay. Because if I'm in this situation and I choose the cookie, I am making a conscious choice instead of that mindless eating, which then oftentimes leads to more than one cookie and eating the entire plate. And then for me, I know I often feel guilt afterwards. But if I've consciously made the choice that that's what I'm going to do, then it's become part of my plan, and I'm okay with it, and I can move forward from there and move forward. If I choose to not have the cookie, even better, and then I feel that sense of excitement and pride. The next tip we have is to find a buddy or an accountability partner. This might be someone who has similar goals to you. It might be a friend or a spouse or a loved one that can be in it with you together. It's always better to do things with others. And you want to find people who are going to support you. And because community and surrounding yourself with people who know what you're doing and who are going to cheer you on, who are going to encourage you, who are going to celebrate your successes with you, and help you move forward if you do slip up, is so important to being successful in the long run. And then the last tip that we have tonight for thinking about your mindset is don't let one party or event turn into a weekend or a week-long event. Think about the holiday or the party as one meal. So take each event or holiday as one set event. It's just one meal. So we're going to share some strategies in a few minutes for how to handle parties and different holiday events. But if you choose to indulge, if that's a choice that you've made, thinking about that stop, challenge, and choose that I was talking about before, you want to get yourself right back on track as soon as that meal is over. Don't stretch it into the whole day or 2 days or through the weekend or even a week, because then we tend to go in that spiral mode and we lose control. So staying under control is super important, because we don't want to have this push us farther from our goals. We want to have it maybe be a blip on the radar, and then we can move on forward. So you get right back on track with the very next thing that you're going to eat, and you'll feel good about it.
Thank you, Karen and Elizabeth. Those were great tips. They're some of my favorites. Next, I want to introduce you to my friend Kim, who is rocking this journey so far. She is down 45 pounds and just blowing me away with all of her non-scale victories and all of, the way her life is changing so quickly. And we can see it in her picture. I'm going to let her tell her story in just a second, but we can see it in her picture, her before picture, where she clearly is not so happy with anything that she's feeling. You can see it all over her face. And then her new picture, 45 pounds down, and there's this glow about her. And it makes me so excited every time I get to talk to her and share with her and, beyond. So I invited Kim to come on and share her story with us.
Hi, everyone. My name's Kim. I was hooked up through one of my physicians who recognized that I was spiraling downhill and was concerned with my health. And she hooked me up with Leslie, my coach, and got it started. And I have to say, it's a very awesome decision, and it's been so rewarding. I've learned so many things, and I can't believe how much better I'm feeling. I still have a long way to go, but this has probably been the best thing I've done for myself. I enjoy as I starting to feel better. I'm sleeping better. Just the little victories, the things I would have never done before, setting little goals, just to improve. If it's walking more steps every so many weeks just recently throwing out the Halloween candy, which is something I probably wouldn't have never ever done before, but recognizing, whatever I didn't give out wasn't worth it, wasn't worth sitting here and driving me crazy. So just getting rid of that. And then as the holidays approach, just coming up with a plan as to stay on, to feel this good. To cook actually offer to cook, and that way I know for sure I'll be eating things that I should be, and making choices that would benefit my health and hopefully those around me, especially family, because I would love that for them to feel as good as I do. And I can't wait to see how this journey goes, and hopefully get to the point where I'm like everyone else and just my goal weight, you know, be able to do all the things I want to do and not feel miserable when I'm trying to. So.
Thank you so much for coming on and sharing, Kim. It's so inspiring, and I know people love to hear from people who are early on in the journey and how great you feel so early on, because that's the key, right? To sit here and look at us who we've had our weight off for a little while. People say you did it, but I can never do it, and you're living proof that early on you can do it too. And we're going to be here to cheer you on, and I can't wait to come back in a few months and come back alive again and let everybody see your awesome update and share some of those big goals, because you and I are working on some big goals for the spring for you. So super
Absolutely.
So we will bring you back live and to let everybody hear your update very soon. Next, we're going to go on to some more holiday party and survival tips and tricks. Here are the things that you can actually do when you're there and you're in those parties.
Hi, I'm Francie Feld, and I am a health coach. I've lost 75 pounds, and I've kept it off for 3 years.
Sean, Marcia, you want to introduce yourself? Marcia, you're muted.
Sorry, I was muted. Sorry. I'm Marcia Leibson. I've been a health coach for 1.5 years, and I lost 40 pounds. I've kept it off for 2 years.
So tonight I'm going to talk about holiday party survival tips and tricks. Number 1, don't go to a party hungry. This is super important. Before you go to a party, I would suggest having some water, maybe having some soup, maybe even a light meal, a little bit of lean and green, because you don't want to walk into the party starving, and then you just grab everything that's not going to be the right choice, and then you probably feel sorry afterwards. So you want to prepare. A lot of this, the survival tips are about being prepared and being mindful. So number 1, you want to think about what you're doing, eat maybe a half hour before you go. Maybe you eat your entire dinner before you go, and you already have in mind, when I'm there, I maybe just gonna have some vegetables, or I'm gonna have some water. We'll get to that. Number 2, ask about the menu before you go and set a plan for yourself. What that means is calling the hostess saying, hey, do you mind letting me know what you're serving? Because I'm leading a healthy lifestyle, and I just want to know what my options are so I can plan accordingly. And most of the time, I know when someone asks me that, I'm happy to tell them what I'm serving. And some people say, oh, well, I'm afraid, or I don't want to call, I don't want to bother the person. It's like if you have a special diet, whether it's low salt or a kosher diet, or you're watching your sugar, or you have diabetes, or you're trying to lose weight or stay healthy, they're all the same. It's like you have a voice. If someone invited you to a party, they're loving you and they want you to come. So they care about you and they care about your special dietary needs. I say it's okay to ask. So ask about the menu before you go. Set a plan for yourself. Then you're walking in and you know what you are doing. And number 3, super important, it goes along with 1 and 2, mostly 2. Before the party, share your plan with your accountability partner. And I know another coach had already talked about that. What's an accountability partner and why does it matter? An accountability partner could be a friend, it could be a spouse, it could be someone, a coworker, maybe you're going to a company event. So many parties, company parties this time of year. So it might be a personal coach that you're working with. Any of those, anyone who you and that person are going to be accountable for the commitments you make. If you need someone to help with that, please feel free to message any of the coaches here. We'd be happy to help you. If you're on my page, I can help you, or anyone here. We are happy to work with you and help keep you accountable and give you tips. So that's what I want to share, 1, 2, and 3. And I'm going to pass it on to Marcia, and she's going to take it from there.
Thanks, Francie. So the next one is to keep a cup of water in your hands throughout the party or event. When you go in, get a cup of water, keep it with you the whole time. Then you have something in your hand. You're not as likely to be picking up stuff along the way that maybe isn't the best thing for you to be eating. And walk around with it. Nobody has to know what's in it. It's not anybody's business. And talk to people instead of, eating. Just talk to people. You can meet people that way and find out about people you already know and just have conversations. The next thing is to use a smaller size plate. Instead of getting a dinner plate size, get the next size down, because usually there's more than one size plate at a buffet type thing, and fill it only one time. Don't go back for the second time, and fill a third to a half of it with vegetables. Then fill another good part of it with protein, and don't leave a lot of room for carbohydrates and starchy foods. That way you're not going to have a lot of empty calories or things that are more fattening. And watch the kind of vegetables you pick too, because a lot of people put out vegetables in sauces with a lot of cheeses and things like that. So be careful. I always look at the buffet before I start picking to see what's there, and then go back and make my choices. And the last thing is, if you see something you really want to taste, again, stop, challenge, and choose. And if you still want it, it's okay, but follow the 3-bite rule and only take 3 bites. Chew them slowly, take each bite one at a time, and you will feel perfectly satisfied that way. If you just, shovel 3 bites in and chew it all at one time, you're not going to feel as satisfied if you do as if you did it slowly. So those are our recommendations for how you can survive a party without overdoing it.
Thank you so much, Francie and Marcia. Those are great tips. Those are some of my favorite tips in there. I have to say my favorite one is eating something before I go to an event, because that really is always my saving grace. Because if I go into an event hungry, all bets are off. So I always like to eat something before I go, even if I know that there's going to be healthy choices there, so I don't walk in healthy. I walk in and make unhealthy choices. So are you hearing some tips here that are resonating with you? Do you want to expand on some of this some more? Are you thinking, oh my goodness, I really want to do this. I really want to get healthy through the holidays. I don't want to be part of that average and gain 7 to 10 pounds over the next two plus months, right? I really want to get it under control. Reach out to whoever invited you here tonight. Reach out to whoever's timeline, whichever coach's timeline you're seeing this on. And if you have shared this, if somebody has shared this, it's not a coach, find out what the path was to get back to them or to reach to any of us that are here tonight. We will be happy to help you. And we will set up a time to talk to you for free, to set up a meeting to create your own personalized holiday action plan and goals, and set up something realistic that you can actually manage and hold to. Like I said at the very beginning when we started this, our goal here and the goal of all the coaches in our whole team, not everybody could be on here tonight, obviously, but our goal is to help people find health through the holidays, get healthy, make healthy choices, gain new healthy habits, start adding those 6 macro habits of health into your lives so that you can be healthy. That's our goal. And as many of you know, we promised you a free holiday recipe book. Many of you follow us for our awesome recipes that we post all the time, and we have put together a new recipe book. Some of them are going to be some of the ones that you've seen before, but there are definitely some new recipes in this book that you've never seen before. They are really good, but the ones that you have seen are all the favorites. You'll have them all in one place. To receive your free recipe book, go online to www.healthyholidayliving.com, and you can request, you'll click to fill out a form to request your copy of our holiday recipe book. It will be sent to you. One of the coaches will send it out to you within the next 24 to 48 hours. You'll fill out the form. Make sure you put in there which coach referred you here so that the right person can be connecting back with you and getting you your holiday recipe book. So if you have any questions, please put them in the watch party or the message where you are watching this live on Facebook. Please feel free to go ahead and share this as well. We want to get this out to as many people as possible and help as many people as possible get healthy. And we hope you have a healthy, happy, wonderful holiday season. And if you have enjoyed this and you want another evening of this, please let us know, because this was a lot of fun. I don't know about the rest of the people who helped host it, but I know I had a lot of fun, and we had a lot of fun planning this. And if you are interested in another evening of tips like this, let us know, because we will very possibly putting together another one in the very near future. Have a great night, and we will see you guys back here very soon. Bye.